The reason why I refuse to give up when it comes to Toshi is because I hypothetically see it go into the price of 2 cents during this bull run. Now, that's not financial advice, but the way to take a look at it is that when it comes to Toshi, it does exist on a place that is pretty much, in my opinion, almost as fail-proof as it gets. Now, of course, there's nothing ever that's going to be fail-proof, but what I mean by this is that if we think about this logically, right? If let's say Coinbase has a network, in this case, a layer 2 network called the Base network, if they create something like that, is it really going to fail? I highly doubt that. I think for something like that to happen, something like Coinbase has to pretty much go off into the abyss, which I don't think it will anytime soon, because you take a look at how there's over 600 million crypto owners. As of right now, according to Crypto.com research, of course, many of them want to use exchanges, much like, for instance, maybe in the case of Coinbase. I don't think it's going to disappear, right? The way I take a look at it is that, again, when they make a layer 2 network, the Base network, and Toshi is on there, by the way, I believe that that network right there is going to have a bright future, and I think Toshi is going to go along with that ride. Not to mention, if let's say the Base network were to fail, that would be a bad look when it comes to Coinbase. I don't think they would want that to happen, and I think easily something as massive as Coinbase could very, quickly, I think, rescue if let's say the network were to fail, or like save it, I would say. Unlike other layer 2s out there, in which case, if they don't do well, it's very hard for them to get rescued, right? The team could maybe run out of funds, who knows? They give up, they don't work on the project anymore, there's not a good future. We just don't know. That might happen theoretically in some cases. However, I'm just saying as a make-believe scenario. But again, when it comes to the Base network, I don't think that is pretty much ever going to be the case, at least in my opinion. Now, we have to take a look at how there's, of course, many layer 2s out there. I'm not saying that the Base network is the only one. And really, in terms of fundamentals, it's not like the most revolutionary one out there, in my opinion, at least. But does it matter? Not really, because usually people care about the backing. Like, I don't think the average individual is going to take a look at layer 2s and compare like the exact minute details. Typically, that's not the case. Usually, they want to know, hey, does it have a good community? The Base network does. Does it have a good backing? This one does. Again, you take a look at Coinbase in a sense. People usually care about those two factors. Not to mention, another aspect of the Base network that really does give it a lot of credibility is optimism, which is built in collaboration, by the way, with Coinbase when it comes to the Base network. Again, Coinbase built this in collaboration with Optimism. So again, when you take a look at Optimism, it's one of the leading Ethereum layer 2s out there. That's massive right there. Not to mention, when you take a look at Toshi, I think a major reason why it even got listed on Coinbase in the first place is because it's named after the co-founder of Coinbase's pet cat, and of course, the name is Toshi. Now again, Toshi's on the Base network, and then it's Coinbase's layer 2 network. I think it would only make sense that it does get listed on Coinbase, which it did. Now, what is a major factor that I think made for this to happen, or should I say a lot for this to happen? And I think that is the fact that when it comes to Brian Armstrong, again, I think, of course, he has a soft spot in his heart for his pet cat. Of course, he loves his cat, in my opinion. And when, let's say, there's a meme coin created that is named after his pet cat, I think there's going to be a great motivation to list that on his exchange, right? Because at least I would. If, let's say, I did like co-found Coinbase and I was one of the owners, and let's say someone named, a meme coin after my pet fish, let's say, right? Because I do keep fish, because I am a fish keeper. I love fish. But even besides that, if let's say someone did that, of course, I'm going to want to have a higher increased, level of motivation to list that on my exchange. So I think that is the reason why Toshi got listed, maybe, right? Because other meme coins out there, maybe they might have a difficult time to get listed on Coinbase. But again, this one is just so special. It's so unique. I think that really contributed to why it's on Coinbase. Not to mention as well, if you take a look at Toshi, the fantastic thing about it is that the name is actually very similar to Satoshi Nakamoto, which is the creator of Bitcoin, allegedly. So yeah, I think this is a very amazing meme coin. I just find this something that is very hard for me to give up on. I refuse to give up. There could be price pullbacks, maybe there might be some FUD or whatever, a market downturn. I still believe in this. And not to mention, I think the race is far from over. Usually altcoins, as a worst case scenario, they peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. That would actually mean around October this year, based on the last Bitcoin halving event that happened in April of last year. So I think the race is again still far from over. I'm not taking a look at what could Toshi do next week. I mean, even if let's say Toshi in a week, theoretically in a make-believe scenario, let's say did a 5x from here, I still wouldn't even sell any Toshi because I view this as more so of a marathon. Keep in mind, when it comes to Toshi at the price of 2 cents, that's still around a 30x from here. Even if Toshi did a 10x the next month, I'm not gonna, cash out or anything like that. Why would I do that? Because I still view this as something that could hypothetically do a lot better, even though this is just my strategy. Of course, there may be people who exit at that point. Who knows, right? But I'm just saying this is what I would do because the way I view it is that when it comes to 2 cents, it's not even that crazy. If it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply and market cap would be around $8 billion, we've seen Dogecoin reach over 80 billion before. Keep in mind, back in 2021. I don't think this is too much to ask for, in my opinion at least. When I consider the trajectory of this bull run, the Bitcoin ETF, and also more specifically the Ethereum ETF and the hype for that, which of course is going to benefit something like the base network because it's a layer 2. A layer 2 does allow for Ethereum to be enjoyed without having to deal with, its notorious drawbacks like the high gas fees and scalability issues. So of course, if Ethereum does go up, I think a bunch of layer 2s are going to go along with the ride, much like the base network. And not to mention Toshi again on the base network, I think it's going to just go up as well, just due to the fact that, again, it's a meme coin on the base network. As the old saying goes, a high tide raises all ships. When Solana did well, what did go up with it as well? Or should I say what did well along with it, right? Something like Bonk, something like Book of Memes, something like Dog with Hat. I don't see why it would be any different here, but it's just a waiting game really. And I understand that, which is why I'm still accumulating anytime I'm doing income, acquiring, holding, and just waiting. Literally, that's it. I like to keep things simple. That's the way to take a look at it. When I believe in a project, I'm just going to keep acquiring, holding, and just waiting. It's literally so simple. That's it, right? And Toshi, it's a meme coin that is very easy to understand. Again, it doesn't have the best use case, but it's actually not bad really when it comes to the use case because you take a look at, for instance, Toshi tools. These are tools that will help quite essentially guide someone towards their journey to be building on Base, aka the Base network, of course. You take a look at these tools include a multi-sender, a token locker, a liquidity locker, and even a token launcher, and also a launch pad. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Not to mention there's Toshi Mart, which is basically the way to take a look at it, a meme coin launch pad. Now, this allegedly allows everyone, or maybe in this case, I should say anyone, right, to create their own meme coin without any technical knowledge. So again, basically a meme coin launchpad. Nothing really too special there, but you know what? When it comes to Toshi, the use case isn't bad. It's on the right place, aka the base network, going to the price of 2 cents. Isn't that crazy? Again, like I mentioned earlier on the video, there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research. Not to mention, you take a look at the Ethereum ETF. This bull run could be so amazing, I think, hypothetically for Toshi. It's just a waiting game. Once Bitcoin reaches that next level of 150,000, 200,000, maybe even beyond, man, I think Toshi could hypothetically be something very special, but I'm just waiting and staying patient because at the price of 2 cents, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, and I'm not giving up on it. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's only the captain. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.